Hey everybody, it's Savagelandsnews coming in with the final game of our Weekly Armory Series. This is our first Armory Series that we've done. We have another one coming up next week, and it is against one of my personal friends here, Ryan the Wombat, top 8 Portland battle-hardened player. He's on Briar, not one of our best matchups, and yeah, let's jump right into it. It was a really good game. Pretty excited. Very fun, very tight, very close game here. Okay, so we're picking this game up 40-40. So they won the die roll. They're going first, pitching Bramble Spark Fused. I didn't cut his deck, and he just kind of he drew his cards. He's like, oh, do you want to cut it? And I was like, oh man, if there's a Channel Mount Heroic on top of your deck, I know you're a filthy cheater, right? And that was a Channel Mount Heroic he used to fuse here, of course. So we're not running AB in this matchup. The reason is I want to kill Briar before I need to use AB. If I'm pitching cards into AB, I'm probably losing anyways, right? Briar doesn't do that much arcane damage anyways. You know, it's just Rosetta over the course of the game. It's not like this, right, where you might just get womboed and could have lived, right? I blocked with my equipment really early. Kind of foolish of me to do that, but the reason was that it was Blood Rush and Swing Big, right? I'm running cross strap, so I can fire the Swing Big without any buildup, without any cards in arsenal, no big deal. So 2 floating, and of course, you know, he's gonna banish our Swing Big, so we wasted equipment for nothing. Whatever, right? It would have been nice to get that 10 damage off, but you know, it is what it is. So we're gonna draw our cards up, claw for 5. Gonna think about blocking here, but it looks like it's a pretty decent Blood Rush. It's only because we have Heart and Cross Trap that it was okay to fire it this early, though. So keep that in mind. So Ryan's thinking about blocking, seeing if it's worth it to do damage on his turn or just try and stuff my Blood Rush. You know, like there's always the possibility that another Intimidate's coming. So if you plan on blocking, a lot of the time it's better to block early. But we work with an E-Strike and some armor. Coming for 5, go again, pitching a That All You Got. So they're preventing our damage. Okay, taking 5, 35 to 37, cross strap, CNC. So we knew that they had Channel Mount Heroic in their arsenal, right? So the whole idea here was we got lucky, we can punish them, take that CNC away. Very good timing on that CNC, right? A little lucky on the draws off the top there. But it is a really, you know, the damage ceiling is lower. Right, instead of pitching and playing a brute card, we are playing a generic, which doesn't get buffed by Blood Rush. But losing 2 damage and taking away a Channel Mount Heroic is a very good trade, right? Very good trade. So Ryan's trying to see if there's a way out of this, and he can't quite find it, right? So gonna give us his helmet, stripping all of his equipment pretty much turn 1, which is really nice. And then that Channel Mount Heroic is gone. Okay, 31 to 37. He didn't take very much damage, right? So only 9 damage off of our entire Blood Rush. But that 9 damage is also coming at the cost of a Channel Mount Heroic, which is a pretty significant trade, right? That's more like 19, 20 damage, a 20-point swing. Earthlore Surge, hate that card. It's funny how many of Briar's cards I don't like. But plus 5 to anything. Why do all Briar's cards work with generics? It doesn't make any sense. Everything should be elemental. But you know, whatever. Snatch for 9. It's pretty gross. His Snappy's up, so we know that if we let this hit, we're getting snappied. Probably getting snappied if we let it hit. And he has 1 card left in hand, so he'd be able to come at us with 2 more cards, which is not great, but yeah. So can't really risk it, I don't think. Probably has another card in his hand that'll, you know, stop us. And so here we're trying to bluff out his snappies. That's all we're trying to do. Like pop him when we have the D-React in our arsenal, right? He's considering it. Yep. So he didn't pop it because Brian's a good player. He knows there's a possibility that I could D-React it, waste his snappies, end his entire turn, and you know, basically rip all of his equipment. So just coming in for 6, clean, fair, 6 damage. Cards are worth 3 there. So still thinking, you know, most of Briar's cards aren't worth very much defending unless they're a blue non-attack. So blocks on the Earth War for 3, got his blue block value out of his embodiment. Typical Briar play. Nimbleism. 7 go again. From Arsenal, Lightning Surge. Gonna block it. 7. No embodiment so far. We still have most of our equipment, so we're looking okay. So he's taking advantage of the no arcane barrier here. Had an extra blue. So he's thinking about swarming us into Rosetta, or if he should keep that swarming for next turn. Yeah. So taking 3 arcane, nothing we can do about it. Take 2. 29 to 28. So rolling our scabbies here. Hit the action point. Delicious. Okay, so Savage Feast. 1 action point left, 2 floating. Can at least claw here, hopefully double claw or attack with another 6. So these kind of plays, you really need to take advantage of them. That's what Savage Feast is in the deck for. So 3 card 12, which is pretty good, right? That's an average of 4 value per card when you hit scabs, which is like Briar numbers. So you need to do a couple of these turns against Briar to like beat them, you know what I mean? And then here we chose to pocket that card instead of play it, just in case we can take advantage. So it, you know, I could have come in for 12 there, but I now have a card ready instead of in my arsenal for possible Blood Rush we run into, right? Force of Nature Fused, Tome of Harvests, another card I really loathe. 3 for 3 cards. Does that make any sense at all? No, it doesn't. Basically changing a blue out of your hand for 2 additional cards in a deck that doesn't really need blues. Gross. So he's got the embodiment. He has Force of Nature, Fused. The next attack is +1. Any attack that hits this turn is going to be buffed. So this is probably going to be a decent sized turn from Ryan over here. We have 2 of the coolest play mats out there. Gambler's Gloves and High Octane, some OG play mats. But 19 to 29 is pretty good. So he put a lot of emphasis in this turn, right? By not blocking. So he also believed this turn is going to be really good, right? So Coax for 5, go again. If this hits, we're giving him a draw and a quicken token, which is disgusting. So we'll block 5, sink a card. Now we're running out of equipment, right? We only have 1 block on our boots, so we're going to save for a snatch. That's what those boots are for in the late game, is when they try and pivot off a snatch, we can stop it, right? So we won't be blocking with those unless we have to, or unless a snatch comes out of the table. Or a Coax on like a big turn or something, right? Still thinking. You know snaps are alive. He's got Tunic. He's really trying to figure out a way to like pump this turn up. So it looks like he's considering either going E-Strike or Snatch, like which one is better to attack with first. Force of Nature will only work on E-Strike, right? If it's buffed. So it won't work on the Snatch, thankfully. No channel mount to help him out here. Yep, Snatch. Go again. Sink that card. Doesn't say Blood Rush on it. Goes to the bottom. Okay. E-Strike for 7. This one will draw a card. So we stopped an Arsenal draw. I mean, we're not going to be able to retaliate with anything on our turn, but he killed a Force of Nature, played 5 cards, didn't draw a card, doesn't have card advantage on us right now. So I would call that a win, right? And we're 10 points ahead. So like things are going kind of the right way, right? Like the only thing that could really be going better is like drawing a bunch of Blood Rushes back to back. Rabble for 2, revealing another Force of Nature. Embodiment trigger. Okay. Our hand looks pretty average. Nothing special in it. Coax a Commotion. And it doesn't have go again, right? So we're just going to stop it. No need to give him a free quicken token next turn, right? No need to do that. We still have 2 cards. So here we can apply more pressure, or we can swap out our arsenal for a better target, right? Yep. So I'm just considering whether or not I want to play Swing Big or if I want to swap my arsenal. I choose to swap the arsenal. Save the Swing Big for hopefully a Blood Rush. So, you know, little less damage than if we played Swing Big, but, you know, it could come back to be better later, or it could be worse because, you know, we're not presenting that much damage. He has a 5-card hand, so we'll see. It's kind of a hard decision to make, right? I tend to prefer Swing Big and Arsenal, but both those cards are great targets, right? Two costs, amazing. Especially because we're down a chess piece. So our next Blood Rush, like, you know, we have to have a lot of cards, and there has to be a cheap card in our arsenal. Another Tome. And it looks like we got lucky. He did not draw any attacks at all. Pretty weird with a 6-card hand. So making the Embodiment. Trying his best to set up for next turn. Making a rune. Oh, just making 2. So, I mean, for a deck that literally has no attacks in his hand, that's not that bad, right? Making a Quicken Token, basically, an Embodiment of Lightning. The only thing he really could have done, maybe even more, is like make a rune chant, right? But we sink below. The only reason I would ever do that is to try and fix the Blood Rush hand, or try and, you know, find a card that works with Savage Feast. So here we're gonna scabs. One. Yeah, he's excited. I'm not excited. I do always roll double ones against Briar. It's weird. It's like every time. It's only Briar though. It's a weird trend I have. So he bricked and I bricked, but his brick is way less punishing than ours, right? Way less punishing, right? He managed to still do damage, make an embodiment of lightning, and we did nothing and didn't cycle cards to find a Blood Rush faster. Pretty much worst case scenario. So 7 fused, or off the embodiment, go again. 1 arcane we can't prevent. We're gonna reckless swing here, do 2 damage. Pretty much a dud of a hand, right? Rabble, taking 2. That's 4 damage we've saved off those rabbles. Pretty good. We'd be at 20. Taking 5 to the dome, right? 5 damage. So now we can at least retaliate with swing big. That's not that bad. I mean, but our life total after 1 double one like that just disintegrated. Our life was, we were so far ahead. And now we are in very much danger to lose this game because Briar with 5 cards, Briar with 4 cards can present 19 a lot of the time faster than we can present 15, right? They're a little faster than us. So 19 health isn't very much. We liked it when we were 10 ahead, not 4 ahead. So considering what to do here, block a little bit, taking 5, going down to 10. He has a 4-card hand. Tunic, so tomorrow, so putting 5 damage back in his deck, but it's mostly just because it draws a card. So half an embodiment, still 4-card hand. Briar has so much card advantage, it's crazy. Weave Earth, making an embodiment. We saw that Revel in his hand, gross. Yep, 5 go again, taking it. 1 rune chant, 1 rune chant. We're gonna play Revel here. Rosetta for 9. Down to 5. Look at our health lead disintegrate. 1 decent Briar turn. 1 decent Briar turn and it all crumbles. Swing big, buy us some time. And we are threatening a pummel technically, right? 2 cards left at hand. It is kind of weird that I didn't go for scabs or something along those lines. I mean, I don't have Gambler's Gloves, so actually it's not that weird. This would be a bad line for scabs. But we are threatening pummel. At least there's the idea that he could get pummeled here. Maybe he makes a mistake. But it looks like we got sigils in our hand. Buys us more time. That's why I run sigils in this matchup. I also love to stick them in my arsenal, because sometimes Briars will overextend when they think they can kill you, and then you just sigil out. Sometimes. So he's considering how low. I mean, Ryan's played against me a lot, so he knows that Reckless Swing is in my deck. So he's not going to go to 2 unless he has to. And we actually have a long-standing. I have basically every time I kill somebody with Reckless Swing, I often ask them to sign it. Ryan has literally not attacked until he died before to avoid that Reckless Swing kill. So he is well aware of the price that Reckless Swing comes with. But when I'm at 5 life, right, he wants to keep as many cards in his hand as absolutely possible to threaten them all. Get me locked and arcaned down, right? So he's just spending. Yeah, see, he even mentioned he's a Reckless Swing, right? Going down to 4, baby. Sigil. Probably messed up a little bit of his arcane math here. And that was a Channel Mount Heroic that he fused with. 8 go again. Another generic that card works with. Blech. Disgusting. Taking 5, going to 2. Sigil again. Going to 5. Sigil again. Now we can retaliate, right? Just give me 2 cards, please. Give me 2 cards, please. Or go to, you know, Reckless Rage, which is even more preferable, to be honest. But give me 2 cards, please. So I'm just going through my deck, looking for the quantities I have left. How many swing big? How many Reckless Swings? Just seeing how many cards are left in my deck. So 2-card hand Briar. He can still chip us down pretty reasonably with Arcane and stuff like that. We're still not in a good spot, to be honest. This is like very much a losing game, unless we can do something to cheat out some damage. because now he'll have a 3-card hand, but at least he doesn't have the embodiment, right? 6. Unfortunately for us, he drew some 3 blocks here. We would have really wanted him to draw a couple 2 blocks here, but that looks like a swarming and a generic maybe. So they block 3 naturally, even without the embodiment. Yep, CNC, okay. So 2 3-block generics, or I guess Revel or Swarming is not a generic, but 2 naturally 3-blocking cards kind of ruins our day. Weave Earth, not what we wanted to see here. Not what we wanted to see. Looks like we drew a tome. Without Gambler's Gloves, it's kind of risky to stick that in Arsenal, but it is a way to stall even longer, maybe. Get 3 life back or something along those lines, right? We do have our boots. Still have our boots. Yep. Keep our value up. That all you got. Down the 2. We're 1 Rosetta away from death. So we need to force him to block. Yeah, baby. Roll that Scabs at that 2. It's not even a win. It's more like Scabs to stay alive at all. Tome. Claw. Block 3 again. Really hoping he didn't have these block 3s, man. Boom. 6. So we are not going to kill him. But depending on how many cards he has that don't block well, we could very, very well stall the game. He's gonna have to sign my stupid card. Okay, now we know what to do, right? Reckless time, baby. So coming in for Scar for 4. Wish we could do that, but we can't. I'm thinking, do I Scabs again? But then he just makes 1 rune chant next turn and I die. So I'm just considering, do I 50-50 another Scabs roll here, go to 1 and try and kill him? Or, yeah, but if I go to 1 and he has a single blue, I lose, right? I'd have to read all 4 cards. He'd have to have 2 blocks in his hand. Yep, just going through it in my head, right? So, chose not to do it, which is a smart thing to do, right? Then we swing 6, reincarnate, I believe that is. Again, like, if he would have had a single blue and could block 9, we lose if we didn't block there, right? So here we're just hoping that we can find a reckless swing. Just keep trying to stall out at 2, keep him at 2 cards. Do our best here. 1 rune chant, 4 reckless swing. Boom. Evil laugh. Yeah, so we're gonna rip that little reckless swing out. Gonna pull out our backpack, get that permanent marker, and we're gonna add him. We're gonna add him to the binder, baby. So yeah, that's another Briar game. A lot of fun here in the Pacific Northwest playing this game at the Portland Game Store. Quite a great time. But yeah, another Briar down. Time for a new meta to come. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day.